Aspas, Boaster, Tens, Teets. Everyone has their own answer to the age-old question, who is Valorant's GOAT? But one name that I rarely ever hear in this debate is the only two-time world champion winner, Ethan. On the last map of the Champs Paris Grand Finals, NRG's fearless in-game leader guided his team through the darkness of just blowing the first ever 11-1 lead in VCT history. Now, to still be confident and shepherd your sheep to a world championship after that humiliating fumble? How does Ethan do it? What enables this man to be so unbreakable and inspiring, while at the same time being able to frag out this heavy on Breach? Valorant's worst agent! Well, only the greatest players shine when the lights become brightest. Sometimes, Valorant sucks. And in order to stop losing RR, you need to take a break. But then sometimes you still want to play competitive FPS. Well, then try PUBG Blind Spot and experience thrilling, skill-based, and realistic gunfights never before seen in a top-down shooting game. A Blind Spot features a vision system that shows you every player's line of sight in real time, allowing instant enemy identification, route strategy, and high-risk play. You expand your field of vision, see strategic advantage, and dictate the pace of battle. The team with the most vision wins. The combat delivers a high-tempo, close-to-mid-range shooter experience where speed and strategy collide. Tight engagement distances, smart use of cover, and precision angle control creates a new depth beyond simple trigger pulling. Every peek, every rotation, and every sightline becomes a decisive tactical choice. To transform each fight into a showdown. So quit tilt queuing and go wishlist PUBG Blind Spot on Steam by using my link down in the description. After just losing Pistol to retake lead by Boaster's Big Paranoia and expectedly dropping the following eco, it's NRG's first full buy. This is a must-win round, because not only will Fnatic's credits and ults start to spiral out of control, but NRG are just going to feel deflated. In this series, they were up 2 maps to zip, and were so close to winning map 3. But then disaster struck, Fnatic came roaring back and stole Abyss right out from NRG and stomped them on Ascent. Then when you look over and see Boaster emoting on you almost after every round, and I'm sure NA's last hope aren't too happy. So this round isn't just big for the game, but also NRG's spirits. In their 1-4, the offense went to default mid and B before ending A. Hopefully by that time, the defense only have one person holding these 2 lanes, and NRG can come back and run them over. And now Fnatic, on the other hand, want to fight mid with their double duelists. But how? Well, first, the defense walk out of market and one-way A main before NRG can test with their own dark cover and recon. But Alpha instantly fires a relay bolt bottom mid to get back on the line.
This is momentum. This is threat. Kayak actually going to take the way out here.
Neon tried baiting for her Yoru to slot himself behind this box, but off Brock's drone, Ethan lined up his stun to not only hit Neon, but also cover this cubby. So, Kayak's forced out, and mid belongs to NRG. And now in B main, Scuba's been in there taking selfies uncontested, so the offense have 2/3 of the most important parts of the map. They wait around in mid for a potential reclear before eventually slowly walking back towards A. The only thing that's stopping NRG from a free sight is crashes in this one-way. That's expiring soon.
Now it would be Crashies. He's got a stinger, so he has to respect this onslaught. NRG second-guessing themselves.
Crashies has been pushed back and is locked out behind Sam's dark cover. But NRG aren't ending A. They're going B. They just wanted to bait Fnatic to rotate back and help their fade. But the defense aren't biting. Crashies is calling out that the offense aren't pushing elbow and A's gone quiet. So Boaster just hangs up a one-way on tall box and doesn't even bother watching it. He has the read, and it's their bonus. Fnatic have to take some risks. And now once the offense leave and A-main's been silent, Crashies sends a Prowler through the dark cover and it confirms the defense's suspicions. It is B. So with an Outlaw posted on the mid line, Boaster opts for the longer spawn rotate to not take any risks from bottom mid. But is he going to make it in time to complete the 4-stack?
3, 2, 1, go.
Flashing.
Close left.
Together, boys.
Carry trip.
Flashing market now.
We broke trip. Carry side trip. Left,
I'm
left.
out. Wait, 2 wave.
Okay.
Backside.
You're.
I'll mark it.
Backside, close left. Close left and backside.
Go headshot. High market.
2
Close
backside.
left, close left and backside.
One more.
Backside, bin.
On you. Default. Good. One
Mark
market.
it with Outlaw.
Fnatic did good to not just have 4 people on B, but also flood in behind Omen's paranoia. Alpha got 1 before sprinting away, Boaster got 2 by anchoring backside, but knowing that his team was down 2, Ethan had to make a play. So he took the risk by jumping up the right side of site and completely blindsiding Kayak and Boaster. Similar to hopping out of Hookah on Bind, this area is extremely risky to push, because if the defenders peek you at the right time, you'll be midair and defenseless. Kayak never expected this push, and Boaster thought he could isolate Brock before Ethan could backstab him. Because of our protagonist's heroics, it's a 2 versus 2. But in order for Spike to get to site, they have to cross this outlaw.
You need to help him cross. You need to help him cross.
Pick. He's on you.
Give me one.
Take
Peek
one.
back
Peek spawn.
side,
Just
peek
peek
back
spawn.
side.
Could be flank.
Mid.
After Ethan Aura farmed the Outlaw last round, both teams are still on full-ish buys. Neon has her Overdrive and Sam has a Stinger, which is still nuts, but they both have new game plans. Energy are defaulting mid and B again in their 1-4, but have a new objective in mind, while Fnatic have moved 3 defenders to A, thinking that, hey, Energy saw a bunch of us in mid last round, they'll probably go A, let's fight them. But they've left Yoru to fight mid with his gate crashes on his own. Can he find anything despite this early smoke and recon?
He's 1 away from his ultimate. Actually, Kayak on the hunt here. We'll find Mother.
This right here is a prime example how even with his big-ass nerf, Yoru is still one of the best duelists in the game. But despite being down a player, Energy can't falter and need to find a kill, or at least keep defenders on A. So Sam turns and places an A main smoke to distract Fnatic, while Brock sends his Aldrone into market safely from behind Grave. Kinda like what Kayak did. But the drone gets broken from deep. Someone's in market. Before flushing them out, Ethan needs to first check for any trips by blasting his Aftershock into this corner, and then doubles back to help Brock and Sam, who've been posted, ready to punish a reclear. But look at the pings! It's time to go.
They're gonna be stacked here though.
Could be backside. I have that
Nice
flash.
trade. Omen backside. Omen backside.
Flanking mid.
Do you have
Flanking
flash
mid.
for backside?
Yeah, I
Flash,
do.
flash left.
This fault line has forced Chronicle out to die, but not before getting his. In response to this explosive market push, Alpha's sprinting on mid to backstab Scuba, who's just been paranoid. But the door's closed! Read the sign. No neons allowed. And now that Energy don't have to worry about market, Ethan flashes himself and Scuba through main and onto site, forcing Kayak to teleport. But Fnatic just want to double up before retaking. Look! Crashes and Alpha are ready to fight market.
Kayak, TP away. Now joins Boaster. Alpha shut down though.
Big impact from Brock. I can't stress enough how important he's been with Ethan in this.
But Brock punished Fnatic's lack of teamwork. Did these two want to swing? Or trap him with the C's first? And Ethan made sure Fnatic wouldn't even think about flooding with this kill and spawn. Now, Crashies doesn't want to die alone and heads back to spawn to rejoin Boaster, but he's already found a timing.
Right.
He's out. He's out. He's
Buff,
out.
buff, buff.
Ping right.
Chill.
He was
Be
on me, he
outside.
was
Be
on me.
outside.
Chill,
No
chill.
tether, no
Let me
eye.
play, let me play.
He has eye
Scoop,
at
hold me,
10.
Scoop, hold me.
You guys are perfect. Perfect. Brock, peek off them. Sight.
Yeah.
Scuba feather. No, Ethan will.
Playing time now. Off. Okay.
Crossfire. Just crossfire.
Okay.
And now after dropping 2 in a row, Fnatic finally have to save, and now Energy are setting aside the B main and mid defaults and have their full focus on hitting A. But Fnatic have 3 here. They make the first move by one-waying T, but Scuba cages elbow to isolate it from A short. With such poor weaponry, Fnatic can't fight, but might be able to stack the right site with accurate info. So as Boaster's leaving, Crashies rips a Prowler, which latches on pretty quick. Boaster immediately pivots and one-way short, while Brock's Aldrone sourced through elbow. This noise has convinced Kayak to take his gate crash and rejoin his team on A to try for a mid-round reclear. And now, the offense don't feel comfy pushing this one way, so they funnel to elbow as Crashies is spotting for info, and eventually burns a second Prowler. Energy are here, and Kayak's just in time.
I think he's right side, bro.
Could be close.
Let me know.
You
I'm a dart here, I'm dart.
I'm stunned. They're counter stun. They're counter
Good
stun.
stun. Good stun. Three.
Chill. We're good back.
Three here, guys.
I'm doing right. They gotta swing. Face.
Two dice.
Okay, this right here is the reason why Riot decided to nuke the shit out of utility. There were a bunch of abilities that were traded. I'm not even going to try and list them all. Just know that Fnatic have successfully pushed the offense back, but Energy have also gotten out pretty safe. So, now what? NRG don't feel confident leaving without any other map control. Fnatic could have someone planted anywhere throughout the map, meaning that if they rotated, it'd have to be quiet, meaning it would take too long. Now, what about Fnatic? Well, if you look at the minimap, Kayak backed off at at first expecting an instant reaction from the offense to go B, but Chronicle Spycam doesn't hear anything. So Fnatic elect to hold strong on A and bet that Energy are just trying to keep it quiet to make it seem like they've rotated. But as soon as this smoke blooms, Ethan recognizes that it's going to take a lot of firepower to make it onto site safely.
Setting lane.
Could be lane, could be lane, guys.
One dice, one dice. Let's go.
One dice.
In the smoke.
Could be COVID,
One more
could be
lane.
COVID.
Come on,
Dice.
Dice
Nice,
dead.
boys. One lane.
Only spawn. Attack.
Have a cam.
Both lane, both lane.
Flooding,
Fuck at
flooding.
him.
Let him out, let him
Come
out.
on, boys.
Yes!
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, Teets. Using an ult against an eco? Are Energy serious? Of course they are. Ethan understands that this round is really important. And they still have Sova's Hunter's Fury. Why not use Breach's Rolling Thunder to secure this round? Okay, but how did he know he had to use it? Well, that's the thing. He didn't. Ethan just understands that there's only two possibilities. Either one, Fnatic rotated off. Great, then Energy have sight. Or two, Fnatic didn't rotate. Also great, just use your Rolling Thunder and clean up house to be safe, which is exactly what they did. Using Breach's ult ensures that Energy win this round. But that's not all. Remember this smoke? Well, 9 times out of 10, when defending A short, players will place a smoke on top box to create a one-way. It's then a ton easier to defend from multiple angles. But when placed on the floor like this, I mean, come on, it's a huge red flag that a shotgun's inside using it as cover. So if you look closely, you'll notice that Ethan turned to the side, swung it into the smoke sideways, and destroyed Alpha with a nasty flick. Clearing a smoke like this versus just running straight in gives the defender way less time to react. They won't be able to see your pecker. I think Energy liked going A. They're just hitting it again. Now, I guess I should mention the fact that neither Fnatic or Energy are great at this map. So, if both teams are so bad at this map, then why are we here? Well, since Energy controlled map bans, they probably figured that we suck at Sunset, they suck at Sunset, so we should just treat this like a ranked game and see what happens. Yeah, Boaster probably can't just play ranked. He's only a good IGL when he has a set game plan and prep time. Which explains why they're just slamming A again. It's what you do in ranked. But once again, Fnatic have 3 defenders ready to face this push head on, including Kayak's op. But it won't find value because the round starts quick behind a fast lane. Insta-smoke. Crashies tries to stall with a paranoia, but the offense flash and their recon lands. Pylon Cypher Spycam for elbow, and Kayak admits defeat by teleporting away into spawn. But Crashies just died trying to escape. What about Boaster?
I'm flashing back, I'll hit him.
Omen sight.
Omen sight.
Omen sight.
I'm behind Ethan.
Boaster's paranoia and sight smoke have bought himself some breathing room, despite Brock ripping his fat-ass laser up A main. Sometimes smoking the choke is not the right decision. Like here, it wouldn't have stopped Energy. So why not give yourself cover and make a plan by smoking on site? But Energy recognized that they don't have utility to flush this out. So mid-execute, Sam re-smoke stairs instead of spawn to allow his Sova to come up A short and activate his Owl Drone. It's headed right for Boaster's bubble, but watch Alpha investigate this smoke. There's a gap. As Boaster gets tagged, Alpha gives his team the advantage and quickly stuns to deny a trade. And now with their stairs smoke fading soon, Ethan's running out of options. So he slithers his way on a default, but can't punish Boaster without something to block spawn. Wait, Brock has shock darts.
Give me a sec, give me a sec.
Dice dead. We can
Stun
stun
Stun lane,
lane.
stun lane.
Chill, chill, chill.
The count is even, and that's a body for Scuba's neural theft. But to be able to play that methodically and calmly mid-execute is insane. Who else can IGL like this when there is so much on the line? Now, as Cypher ults, Neon tries to punish, but Kayak enters the dimensional drift to gather information of his own. They know Cypher's elbow, Ethan's default, and Brock's Jenny. Kayak notices that Scuba's come out from hiding, so he takes his place, and because Alpha repositioned after being spotted in spawn, that means Energy are being crunched. They need to fight something to relieve this pressure.
Some angle of approach here.
Oh, but Ethan, that's the leader that NRG will depend upon. As Kayak in a 1v3, it's an uphill struggle. And I think he knows this one might be wraps.
Trip will go up and still looking to do damage, but I don't think NRG are going to play into this.
God, I have to keep singing the praises of Ethan, though.
Ethan is going above and beyond the Call of Duty right now.
Yes.
On the
Stellar.
breach as the leader for
Yep.
this team.
And again, it's for those other players to look at to see that it becomes a reality. Kayak, lovely work on the exit.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ethan knew that he had to start swinging. Otherwise, the defense were going to collapse on his team. And the shots were nice. But because Kayak saved the op, Fnatic are forcing stingers and need to come up with a good game plan in this timeout. Guys, if we want energy to peak the op, we need to... What the... Booster, would you stop dancing for 2 seconds and pay attention? Out of their timeout, Fnatic's plan wasn't too bad. They triple fought A main again in hopes that Energy didn't want to fight them and that they'd run B into the op. But Energy welcomed the challenge. Despite being heavily contested, Energy slowly and meticulously got their way into A. Now, getting there was not cheap. It resulted in a 4 versus 3 favoring Fnatic because Kayak teleported off of B and picked off Ethan on A. But after planning, Energy fought spawn just well enough to even the odds.
Shock again, Brock. It was good.
COVID's clear. Yo, make noise spawn and pivot.
If you
Make
have
noise
a
spawn and
smoke, do
pivot.
it.
Nice.
You're close. Opping.
I have you.
So,
Since spawn was noisy, Alpha took that timing to make it to Jenny, got traded, and we were left in a tense 2 versus 2.
Brock's stuck. I'm reloading.
You're good.
Ops one.
Brock's stuck.
Fight that guy on the left, bro. You got it.
Good.
Chill.
hold.
Up.
Energy just keep going A and keep winning. This is literally a scenario you see in ranked. Your team tries to go A, gets stalled, but because you have no other map control, you just hit A again. And it works. And Fnatic don't have an answer. But Energy know they're frustrated, so they're switching things up by blitzing B this round, but Fnatic have brought over their second duelist to fight A. They won't expect this switch up, and it starts fast. Scuba Locks crashes in market with his cage, Sam ult in the spawn, but Kayak's teleported. Somada flips up his fast lane, blocking both sides of mid, or runs around and realizes that if Yoru is here this early, I don't think I can split, but I've made enough pressure, and backs down to rejoin his team in market while they push with this well-timed recon. Scuba cages the cross, but Crashy shuts the split down with his Nightfall. Boaster locks the attackers in with the dark cover, Brock scouts with his drone to make sure they're not getting pushed, and the offense turn to each other and ask themselves, the defense gotta be here, right? So Energy pivot and walk on a market, but think they can still find a kill top mid on a rotator instead. Sam smokes left, Mana peeks right, but sprints away as soon as he hears Alpha's relay bolt flying at him. Now, after creating tons of commotion in market, mid, and kinda B, Energy are falling to their tried and true strat of going A. The offense pivot again towards the right half of the map, Breach flashes, Omen jumps, and Mana activates his overdrive to recharge his slide. Energy are taking their time clearing site. Ethan even grabs his last ult point, and Brock rips a recon to cover stairs while Ethan unleashes his rolling thunder just to be sure the defenders aren't here. The site's empty, but it was a good ult. So if the defense are all off site, that means that Fnatic are probably planning some sick execute. And Energy don't want to get caught in it. Their counter? Push spawn. Ethan drops a spike for Brock while Sam advances towards his one way with his paranoia active, but Scuba takes down the flanker. And Fnatic want to 4-man funnel through stairs?
Nice little watch of that. Now you're looking at 4 players from the same position. Mana gonna be where's that second come from? But Ethan right back to you.
Energy did so well to save all of this utility that they were able to combat Fnatic's retake. The defense got hit by a flash that Neon swung too early for, a fault line, and a paranoia. Trades went down, the count is even, and Sam is placed with our cover just in time for Ethan to reposition. He hesitates for a second not to get spammed and moves into elbow. But then he starts spraying like a crazy person and gets spammed back to 7 HP. He's trying to bait for Sam.
It still plays in Som, standing his ground.
Yes! Nice!
Come on!
Ethan's heroics have forced Fnatic to save again, but we're going to see the defense do something we haven't seen all game. Be aggressive. In their 0-3-2, Kayak and Alpha are taking a stroll down mid with their only Vandal, while Fade and Cypher try to anchor A. I mean, Energy haven't gone B in a while, just forget it. It's Nico. You gotta roll the dice. And as they start the round by walking down mid, it seems like they've rolled a nat 20 not being spotted by Neon or Sova. Oh, never mind, they got spotted.
They've been spotted though. That's been seen. Marta can get a really clean engage. Stun gonna come through.
Yeah, he was
And Marta,
spotted.
I mean, he comes out better. Big info early on, giving away.
Yeah, so Brock spotted Alpha at the last second as he turned into elbow, but honestly, a 50-50 duel like this is good for the lower buy to take. Now, if you look at Energy's passive default, you can tell that they were ready for a push like this from the double duelists. Once Brock's recon gets broken, Sam even burns his paranoia to discourage the defense even further. But Fnatic are down in numbers and weapons. They still have to make a play. So with Fade soloing the A-line, Cypher and Omen choose to join their Yoru in a second push down tiles. But look at Energy. They're ready. How are a couple pistols and a stinger supposed to break up this crossfire?
Kayak's trying to retrieve the weapon here. Does have Chronicle with him.
Portal closed.
The timing, I guess, on this. Gonna be spotted out by Marta.
Not gonna know about Chronicle though.
So deeper on the line, gets down.
Thank God Riot nerfed the Stinger. This thing used to, and still might, melt everybody. Now, if you take a closer look, this push was a lot more thought out than just Cypher dry peeking the offense. Off his contact, Poster fired his near sight, and Crashies lobbed his C's, both capped off with a left side smoke from bottom mid. But notice how Energy don't just freak out and run as fast as they can to try and trade their teammates. From these positions, they can't really help Neon or Omen. They're just cooked. Energy's advantage are their weapons, so if they can keep calm, they should be able to take down Fnatic before they're able to grab these guns. Plus, the defense might think that Energy have left to go hit an open site, like B.
I'm walking through this.
Go.
Let's go together.
Walking through toes.
Two tiles. Fight tiles
One
together.
more. And the other guy's
I'm
A.
gonna do it in 3,
I'm
2,
walking
1.
towards
Let's go.
Other
Go
guy's
B,
A.
B, 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 B.
Yes!
Nice,
Man!
Fumbling that advantage forced Fnatic to take a timeout, but their setup didn't change. They fought A main and left their op on B, but NRG's game plan did change. After slamming A like 4 rounds in a row, their goal was to farm an ult orb in B main and double back to A to make an insane amount of pressure in hopes that B would be open. But Kayak held his ground and took down Ethan. And now, being down a player might have did good to take duels to even the odds and briefly ended putting his team up a player before Kayak evened it out at 2 apiece.
Chronicle closing in. This isn't bad. Good damage. Oh, he takes him down. It's all on Brock now. Kayak! Key to Fnatic!
Then on the following full buy, Energy wanted to split B and make these 3 on A feel useless. The offense successfully took mid with a smoke and recon, B main with a cage and cam, and the attackers burst into market in sight off the back of Scuba's kill after he spotted Kayak on his cam. But why not just take your gate crash instead of getting pounded from behind? And now, what Fnatic did do well was hold on a backside, only allowing Energy to have the front half. This map control would have made Fnatic retake easy, as Energy can't be in that many places. But Ethan called for his team to go run at the defense.
Something to write home about, but Son found another one. Alpha will fall.
Brilliant problem solving coming in from NRG to pinch towards Kayak's position. Remove that comfort on the angle. Chronicle on 17, still going to do some damage, but he gets overwhelmed. NRG getting active. They wanted backside control. They've got it. Plant's going to be in next. Crashies pretty much shut out here.
Then, on the final round of the half, Energy just went A. But for the first time this game, Ethan didn't blow his ult on nobody. He's realized that every time he's used it to take site, it's been empty. Fnatic have been dodging it. So after Kayak landed this disgusting headshot after teleporting to rotate once the defense knew it wasn't B, Energy just executed on the site normally, and got it. It was only until Sam teleported up on top of Quad and spotted Chronicle that Ethan blew his load. But Chronicle used the knockback to his advantage and landed himself on the other side of the offense's one-way. Smart. This left Energy with nothing but the worst flashes in the game to try and make a play. Breach's flashpoint sucks so much ass that Energy decided to just turtle up and let the defense crunch on them.
No, one more, 70. Nice. All 3. Bingy.
On dice, hey.
Time.
Nice.
Lives now.
No time, no time.
Has to have.
There's no way you win this,
Good
but
job,
the
Sam.
1v1, the
No
HP on
timing.
is low.
Nice.
Perfect.
I do.
Cool.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, I need to say this.
For the time.
So, that's the first half. And whether it was his fragging, IGLing, or calm nature, Ethan did carry his team to this big lead. But his influence didn't stop there, because to start the second half, he has a sick bait and stun setup with Neon on B, while on A, Cypher Spy Cam spots A short and top mid, so he or Omen can solo this lane, even if the offense throw up a lurk smoke to block one side. It cancels out any A pressure unless the offense actually commit. But Fnatic are geared up to split B, similar to how we saw before. While Sam one-ways A, Chronicle activates his cage that traps Brock in market. The attackers jump spot and swing into mid before sending a smoke deep. They continue to contact up mid and break the door open, which sparks their execute. Prowler, decoy, fast lane, but Chronicle loses B main. Ethan stuns deep, Mata close, anyone else in here would be toast. But because they lost main, Fnatic are pushing spawn.
Chronicle very early on here. No chance of a trade happening. Kayak, though, answers back. Walk will fall.
The map is flipped. Attackers are now defenders. But I don't think everyone was supposed to push spawn because now Fnatic don't really have market. So as the offense clear backside and aim at B main, notice how Ethan and Mata are gone. Because these two just got a kill in B main, it's going to feel like Energy are in there until Fnatic physically goes in there to clear them out. So by repositioning to market, it's going to feel like Fnatic are being pinched from 3 different chokes. This was an amazing call. But once Fnatic plant, Kayak sends out this gate crash as they start hunting for kills. And knowing that they can't be stagnant, Fnatic need more map control.
Out of Kilter, a little off time. It opens up a chance for them to strike. Crash is good, but a better trade from Ethan. Oh, he got caught though. Kayak hunting down his target. Poster on the swing, gonna find one. Can't quite adjust for the second. A 1v2 for Som, but chipped up. Damage on the cross, but the pass for the final two players. And Som maybe pressure them into a fight here. He's gonna find two though. This would be magical. This would be simply magical. He can't do it!
Despite the excellent decision to re-rat market, Energy lost and were forced to save the next round. The Classics got farmed, and now Energy need a good game plan. Dropping their first full buy will force them to save again, meaning they'll blow their lead. And Fnatic have really strong loadouts with the way they manage their money on the anti-eco. So in Energy 0-3-2, they're playing full retake on B, are triple fighting mid, and these two are going to pretend like they're heavy contesting A, but just want to force the offense into mid. And Fnatic have 4-ish people here. This bait might work. Round 15 begins with a trade of smokes, scans, Kayak gets scanned, but Mata breaks this haunt. What the? Someone's in mid! Alpha jiggles and spots Mata cross while Crashies is unleashing a prowler on him. But just running at him would not be wise. Good players wouldn't stick around if it weren't for a good reason. Matas? Well, at the start of the round, Omen hopped up on the sledge, forming a high-low with Cypher to fight tiles. But Teets, isn't that super risky? What about? Yeah, bottom mid. Well, look, Grave is so big that it completely covers them up. So while Mata solos bottom mid, these guys fight tiles. And it's a plan like this that is preventing Fnatic from just running at Mata and trading him out. But they don't want him to leave. To make sure, Alpha and Crashies are jiggling and jump spotting both halves of mid and are buying time for Boaster to come over.
Exactly, you've got someone scooping right there.
Just out of line of sight.
This is sketchy. It feels almost too good, right? Too good to be true. The paranoia.
Huge connection.
Scuba.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is now getting to a weird little fight in middle, isn't it? It's just like, okay, no one fancies it. It's all got a bit topsy-turvy.
Both teams going to drift towards B here.
Fnatic broke the mid stack, but not for free. Now, after pressuring A in mid, Fnatic expect B to be weak, so they walk into B main, but then stop. Wait, we saw like 3 people in mid, and they scrambled to get out. That space is probably free. Boaster realizes that after dispelling Energy's mid trap, that there's a good chance that those defenders left to go play the sites. So a majority of the offense backtracks to mid, while Cypher and Fade continue to apply pressure on the wings. But Energy don't see anything. This trip's still up, Sova is probably falling asleep by now from watching Elbow, and they only saw Cypher, who's usually the lurker, peek into sight. The odds that the offense double back to mid is really likely. Mata and Som disassemble their high-low on B to team up with Ethan, who's ready to contest mid.
Alpha should heal
Fnatic
this.
make moves towards top mid.
I like the Kayak. The timing, this is so sketchy. This is so sketchy between both sides. 35 seconds. The pressure's on Fnatic to start looking towards which side of that to go for.
The time's running low, but Crashies has made Boaster's final call easy as cake. Just go away. The offense retreat and sprint up main while Crashies has finished solo clearing elbow. But Fnatic still have one major problem to deal with. They don't have smokes. Crashies has to swing spawn to protect his team.
He's great with his dart though, but he looked a little off on that first encounter. Great flash. Ethan's here. Kicking down the door at 13 seconds. Bring it back to life.
Ethan understood that Fnatic had run out of smokes, and being able to clear these defensive positions while you're trying to flush sight is really hard. There could be a jumbo crossfire. This decision has put Energy up a player and a ton of health. Plus, rotates are here now. Yeah, Fnatic got the plant, but how can they bring this one back with no HP? Or utility?
This is rough.
Last player
Oh,
standing.
that's made it even harder. Alpha, the original Wonder Kid, 14-11. Trying to find a way to make magic happen again. With step by step, their gap closing NRG.
Energy have changed their game plan. They're setting up Omen on the A main line this time in their 1-1-3, but still have this tripwire set up for A short. If Som gets pushed back, that's fine. Rotates won't come until this trip is broken. Similar to the cam we saw in Pistol. And now Fnatic are defaulting mid again in their 1-4-0. They might come back to A later. Round 18 starts with Chronicle pulling back this camera he's messed up, and the same trade of smokes and recons we've seen before. But Mata peeks anyway. He's lucky not to get spammed and only takes minor chip damage. And now with mid control, Crashies moves up and Prowlers into market, but doesn't break this cam. And on the fact that Som sees nothing on A, and Energy have solid info.
Chronicle. It was Chron. Fights him.
Why? Your team has all the info in the world. Sure, you didn't see him on the jiggle peak, but Why did you get across the site so bad? Whatever. Well, now down a player, information isn't going to do them any good. Energy wants to find the equalizer. But getting aggressive on defense as a non-duelist, kinda risky. So after Kayak grabs the orb and clears this box, Brock hops into his Aldrone and sends it down mid, tagging Neon. And that has found Ethan an opening.
Ethan looking to go forwards once more.
God, it's just perfect. Pixel perfect work from Ethan, but now in a little bit of danger. Can he stay alive? Can he get out of here? Not sure. Yeah, he can. Who am I to doubt him?
Trades have gone down, but now it's a foot race to A. But Ethan has the read. He knows the offense saw everyone in mid. Attackers don't have smokes. They have to swing him while he's on an off angle.
But actually ahead of the curve slightly. Ethan is a cut above the rest.
And now Kayak's screwed. He has to run across the entire map and pick up the spike, while Ethan and Scuba could be anywhere. And Ethan has his Rolling Thunder. How is Kayak supposed to plant?
Yeah, they're reading it really nicely. They didn't quite have that beat on where Kayak was. And now Ethan just gonna add insult to injury.
Look at the time.
He's making it run low, trying to find a corner to play from. Kayak actually still affected. Just about going out fine now, but this is a lot to ask of once again the rookie. And he's gonna need everything! 11 HP! And Scuba on the other side sitting pretty on 41. It all comes down to that, Scuba!
Ethan wasn't just a big factor in this championship, but also his one with EG. Watch that Cinderella run here. It was really something to see.